Gonna do a video that you guys are not used to seeing on this channel, but it is a necessary video and I felt like I need to do it. So let's have a conversation about mental health. Let's have a conversation about healing. If you are dealing with mental health issues, if you're dealing with forgiveness issues, if you've ever been abused, if you've ever been mentally, physically, sexually, all type of abuse, then this conversation is for you. And I hope that you receive this well. I'm not here to offend anybody. I'm going to be open and honest about myself in hopes that it can help you watching this video. When I was a kid, I went through a lot. I was physically abused. I was sexually abused. I was mentally abused, emotionally abused. Every abuse that you can think of, that was me. But grew up in a single parent home. Had an older sister, older brother, younger brother. I'm the middle child. My brother, God rest his soul, he just passed last year. He did not like me. In fact, he hated me when we were kids. Told me that he wished I was dead. Told me that he didn't want me here, and tried to honor his thoughts and his commitments several times by trying to off me. I'm gonna just run down a list of things, and it's a trigger warning because it may trigger some of you guys. So I've been almost set on fire. I've been pushed down a flight of stairs, run over by a car. I've had the back of my head busted open with a belt buckle where I lost a quart of blood. I've bit my tongue in half. I shouldn't even have a tongue. They had to stitch my tongue back together because I bit it in half. Been beaten by several different people, given black eyes, bullied as a kid, tremendously. I've been put in a clothes dryer and had it turned on. Yeah, that happened as well. So I've been through a lot. I never felt love when I was a kid, but I felt like I was the punching bag, the verbal punching bag, the physical punching bag. I felt like I was all of that, and it really, really damaged me. And this was coming from several people that I've never known my dad. I've always wanted to, never knew who he was, never wanted anything to do with me. All that culminated to me being very angry. I would have episodes where I would get angry and my face would turn. You see how brown I am? I've always been the same color. But my face would literally turn red. I would start sweating. I would start crying. And that's when I knew I wanted to do some damage. The thoughts that would go through my head was I was ready to kill somebody. I really was. I was that angry. I've choked people out. I've grabbed people literally by their throats. And I've literally choked the living hell out of them. I've thrown knives at people. I pulled knives on people. I remember one time I went to go and get money from an ATM because I was going to buy this gun from a friend of mine. Driving out the bank parking lot, and this car cuts me off and he blows his horn. He gives me the finger. So me, instinctually, I'm thinking I already bought the gun. So I reached into my glove box thinking I have the gun because I was going to shoot at the car. And it was at that moment I said, I don't need a gun. So I never bought one. But I recognized early that I needed help. And I was emotional. I would have these bouts where I'll be laughing and then I would just break down crying. And then laugh and then cry. And then laugh and then cry. And remember my best friend at the time, he said, dog, you need help. Something is seriously wrong with you. So this continued all the way up until adulthood. Angry, crying, emotional outbursts, angry, crying, emotional outbursts, all from childhood, and I never knew it. I got older and I started writing plays and yada, yada, yada. At any rate, one of my plays didn't go so well. So the next day I'm at work and I literally break down all the way crying. And my friend at the time, she was my boss, and my friend Sheila. All right, I had to catch myself for a second. So Sheila says to me, you've got a lot of trauma and you need to heal. I guess the sirens are saying, they were saying the same thing. But she said, you got a lot of trauma and you need to heal. So she gave me this tip, and I'm going to give this to you. I've told this to many people. Most people don't do it. I've had 1 or 2 people that do it and it worked for them. I want you to do this. If you've ever been through trauma, I promise this will be a starting point for you. If you do it, it works. Trust me. You want to grab your notebook or a sheet of paper, anything. All right. You want to grab your notebook, grab a sheet of paper, find you a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, where you'll be alone. Now I want you to write a letter to every single individual that ever did you wrong. Not petty or anything like that, but that's really caused trauma, and you know who they are. And you want to put every single thing in this letter. When I say however you feel about them, you put it in this letter. Whatever you want to say to them, you put it in this letter. No matter how you say it, you can curse them out. You can call them out their name, whatever you say. But you have to say how they hurt you, what they did to you, how it made you feel. And you want to write this letter to put everybody in that letter. And let me tell you, it's going to hurt like a sumbitch. It's going to hurt. You're going to cry. You're going to be emotional. This is why you need to be by yourself so you can purge. But what that's doing, it's purging your system. The reason for writing this letter is purging your system, getting it all out. Some people do it in rap. Some people do it in poetry. Tyler Perry did it in theatrics. But at the end of that letter, what you want to write, this is very important. This is key. At the end of it, every person that you put in that letter, after you say what you feel about them, what they did to you, at the end of it, at the end of each time, each person, you say, I forgive you. I completely forgive you. And after you do that entire letter, here's what you're going to do. You're going to fold that letter. You can put it in an envelope and keep it, but here's what I say do. This is what really works. You go outside. You light a flame to it. And then you let it burn and release all that negativity in the air. And as that letter is burning, here's what you say. I forgive everyone in this letter. Not for you, but for me so that I can move forward. I unbound myself from any hold that you've ever had on me. You no longer control me. I control me. I release myself. I forgive you completely. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. I promise you, it's one of the most powerful things that you can do. Because forgiveness is one of the greatest tools that you will ever have for healing. Listen to me. All the things that my brother put me through, like I told you, I just told you, that's the tip of the iceberg. Burnt me on my jaw with a hot crutch when I was asleep. Used to pour bottles of hot sauce down my mouth. Had me terrified of cats because I would walk around the house and he would just throw the cat on me and the cat would just hang. So all my life I was terrified of cats. You know, I mean, the tip of the ice, I can go on and on and on and on and on. Take all of that, bottle up. That was all that rage and hurt that I had. But once I wrote this letter, it released. I swear it released. And I was able to say to him, I love you, bro. I really was. This is what happens when you're vulnerable. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable. But I'm doing this because I know to help some other people. But before he passed last year, we were leaving. He says to me, I love you, bro. I said, I love you too. And I meant it. Those are the last words. A week later, he was gone. And I truly, truly am thankful that I had the opportunity to say that, the opportunity to forgive. I had to forgive my mom from a lot of different things. Love my mom to death now. My friend Jeremiah, I told him to do this. Now, he's a creative individual. So instead of writing a letter, you know what he did? He turned it into a podcast. And I really think you should go listen to that podcast. It's called Know Your Platform. You can find it wherever podcasts are played. It's called Know Your Platform. And the whole first season of that podcast was him purging. Story to story to story. The entire season was him purging. You want to listen to that. He's on season 2 now, but season 1, you want to listen to that. But this is the start of your healing. You deserve to heal. No one deserves to have this hold over you. No one deserves to have that much power and control over a life that's not theirs. It's your life. Take back your power, and that's how you do it. Second step that helped me, meditation. I meditate every morning, at least 5 days a week. In the morning when I wake up, at least 15 minutes every morning. That was the second part that got me here. I have no grudge against anybody that's ever hurt me. None. You know, you still have those scars. You don't, 1000% heal, but you 98 point whatever something heal. You still have that point. You still have that point. But this is how you get to being happy. I'm happy. Happiness does not come from outside. Happiness comes from inside of here. You can only get that by healing. You can't love anybody else. You can't help anybody else if you don't love and help yourself. And the only way that you can truly love and help yourself is to heal from the inside. You got to write that letter. You can put it in a poem. However you do it, write it. Get it out of you. And if you're still with somebody that's being abusive, you got to let that person go. You were put here for whatever reason you were put here. But it wasn't to be miserable. It's to be happy. It's to learn. Let's heal, y'all. It's time for you to heal. It's time for you to love yourself. Truly, truly love yourself. It's time for you to move forward and be the successful, happy, loving individual you are. You have a purpose. You have a reason. I want you to heal. And this is how you do it. If you have any questions about anything I just said, if you want to share your story, you can always put it in the comments below. You can hit us up at Curbside Pickup, the number 2 Go on Instagram. You can hit me on my Instagram, Keon the Don. It's all in the description. And you can hit me up. You got questions. You got concerns. If you watch this entire video, thank you. I think you watched it because you resonated with it. Thank you for not clicking off. Again, this was not for entertainment. And I hope that this helps you a lot. So that's it for me. I love you guys. I want you to love yourself. Peace and blessings. I'm out.